Good evening and welcome to the nighttime heat right on Prime FM 105.5. We do sincerely apologize for coming on lately. It's due to some technical issues, but rest assured we are on, and of course we are on for the rest of the night, for the rest of the hours, an hour, 2 hours, 7 minutes. The nighttime heat lasts for. And of course, I want you to share the live video tonight. Share the live video so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow what's happening tonight on the program. Tonight promises to be very, very interesting. We have a lot in store for you. And of course, let me just give you an idea as to what is coming up tonight on the nighttime heat. We'll be trying to figure out, the president, His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai, has nominated the new chair of the National Elections Commission. And of course, he's Jenison Widow. He's been around at the commission. He served there before. But we're trying to inquire tonight, is Jenison Widow, is he the appropriate pick for the National Elections Commission as chair? What is his political alignment? We'll be trying to look at that. We heard there are lots of reactions. So some said, well, he's a member of the ruling establishment. And some said, well, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And so we're going to get into that discussion tonight. And how do you think the international community going to view him? How are they going to view him? Especially the man that they'll be working with to produce or to oversee the 2029 elections. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Well, Senator Nathaniel McGill, understand, has reportedly revealed that there's some 30,000 United States dollars that have been allotted for each lawmaker to remove or to expel Yeke Koruba. How true is that again? Our political atmosphere and just continue to get continue to be getting interested almost on a daily basis. So we're going to talk about that today. Well, the Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Augustine Kpehighgafuan, has been highlighting Liberia's economic resilience at an AFDB forum. That's the African Development Banker Forum. He's been speaking there, in fact, as a panelist. And of course, he's been making the case for Liberia at that forum. We're going to talk about that also. Now, I'm sure that you heard that Senator Sir Joseph, has been elected as the political leader of the People's Action Party. And of course, that's a party that Sir Joseph has given birth to. But is that party another helping verb? Or is it going to be a formidable force come 2029? We're going to discuss sort of that as soon as sort of our guests, our panelists are in. I'm sure George Kennedy is not feeling too well. He's under the weather. And of course, George, we wish that you get well as soon as possible. He was here yesterday, but George is not feeling well today. And so he would not be on the program. Wish you speedy recovery, George. But we'll have Benedictus Rasmus Namwe Tabe. He's here, and of course, he's always here. Tabe, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Saborin. Good evening, everyone. Good evening also to our technical team here.
Okay, then also let's welcome Mr. Moses Sandy. Mr. Sandy, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you, Sabo. It's indeed a pleasure to be back Let me say hi to Mr. David Tagbe, our colleagues in studio and the technical crew for all the good job they do and
Yeah.
continue to do for the people of Liberia. It's always a pleasure coming to talk to them. Thank you.
Okay, Moses, thank you for joining the team tonight as usual. Like I said, our colleague George Kennedy will not be here tonight due to some illness, but I'm sure George will be okay come tomorrow. Well, however, we are here tonight, and of course, we're going to bring you a very interesting discussion concerning our country, Mama Liberia. Like I said, Sabo George is my name. Be there because I'm right here. And of course, I'm the lead presenter and the rest of the panelists. And now we're going to have a very splendid and a rewarding discussion tonight on the program. Now, gentlemen, let's begin quickly. I know all of us follow the news about the um, the appointment of the new chair of the National Elections Commission. But before going to that, Moses and let me ask you first: do you have anything maybe you want us to talk about quickly before we can go into our main discussion?
Yes, thank you so much. So I just want to get two things off my chest. Uh, I I listened to the repeat of the show last evening,
Mhm.
and I want to speak to a comment that emanated from Mr. David Tapp,
You always starting.
portray me as the guy who wants to come across as knowing everything, which of course is a misrepresentation of who I am. First thing I want to tell Mr. Tiger is that professionally, if you are in an environment and someone walks away and you have a grievance against that person, you don't say anything until the person comes. It's good to face what the person. But Mr. Tiger opted to gossip, and but he forget to know that he was being recorded. So he made this disparaging comment about me when I heard him, and I just felt that that is the medium to come and correct that. Tabet claimed to be a student of literature. I'm not disputing that. But I also want Mr. Tabet to know that Moses Seni holds a degree in mass communication with emphasis in broadcast journalism. Now, that is where I want to take my brother David Tabet to. He used the word quite mild, and in making reference to the situation with the Honorable Yeke Koluba. The word quagmire, the literal definition is any, any problem that is what? Insolvable, hard to solve, difficult situation, a dilemma, a messy situation is a quagmire. So when he used the word quagmire and he started talking about, oh, well, it may be difficult for the lawmakers to get the 49 votes, I said, look, Mr. Tucker, maybe you need to take the word quagmire back because now like, you yourself, you're confusing us. Because if you say this guy is in a dilemma, then how do you talk about not getting the numbers? So that's a contradiction right there. And so when I was off the show, Mr. Tagbet opted, to elaborate on that. And David Tagbet, let's do a little bit of academic engagement. You tell me when you tell somebody that something is hard to solve, does it not insinuate that the problem is insolvable? You are the student of literature. I am not. Tell the people of Liberia today. The two words or the two, don't they are they not synonymous, Mr. Tagbe?
Okay, so just hold your peace, and I know Mr. Tagbo will respond.
No, actually, Sabo, I don't want to go down that road.
Okay.
I don't want to go down that road. I'd like to say what's on my mind. What's on my mind is I noticed that.
So you don't want to respond to
No,
Moses?
no. I'm not interested in that. I don't want Moses myself to be going up and down with a simple word that other of us should know better. I don't want to go down that road.
But do you agree with him?
Sabo, I still don't want to comment on that. And you asked what's on my mind. What's on the man's mind? That's why he said. I want to say what's on my mind.
Okay.
What's on my mind is Sabo, I noticed that most of our commercial drivers, particularly the keke, what we call keke, or the tricycle riders or drivers, I'm wondering where they have their driving training. Because somebody, I don't drive. I don't know how to drive. You drive well.
Mhm.
As a driver, is it safe to park in a curve where maybe other cars will want to
Oh no.
turn right or left?
no,
And I
it's not.
noticed that. I noticed that a whole lot. They always parking in a curve. And the last time, a car almost ran into one of them because they were parking a curve. And I think the traffic police need to start looking in that direction to save lives. Because if you have, commercial drivers, keke, recklessly parking their vehicles or their kekes or tricycles in the curves, I think it's dangerous. And I think the police need to look into that.
Yes, I think I agree with you. As a sound driver, a well-trained commercial driver, you don't, or even you may not even be a commercial driver, but the fact that you can drive a vehicle, or a keke, you shouldn't be parking in the curve. Is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Any car can run into you, and at the end of the day, you go to bear the brunt of whatever. So I think it's totally wrong. But gentlemen, let's try to get into our discussion quickly. And let me read.
Yeah, and so please, just a few seconds.
Okay.
I want to say something that you guys discussed. It had to do with the statement from the press secretary regarding what is happening in Lofa. She said, "Same money is not a causation for the current situation in Lofa County."
Mhm.
And I heard you guys talk about it. Talbot and the rest of the group said, yes, same money is not a causation. But one thing, I think, no, Mr. Talbot did not agree, but it was Mr. Famule and Mr. Kennedy. They said, same money is not a causation. And this is where, again, we say the government PR is fractured. The Ministry of Information issued a press statement. And that press statement came as a result of the meeting from Guinea. The issue of press statement, the government put a freeze on same money or all money activities in Lofa County. So, but now you tell me, if the government took that action, doesn't that insinuate that same money is indeed a factor, a contributing factor to what is happening in our county? You have the press secretary. The Ministry of Information has spoken, and the press secretary came and contradicted the position of the government. The government said, hey, we are investigating. The press secretary said, oh, no. It has to do with national security. But it is the same government. What I'm saying, is that I'm not telling the people that same money is the only factor. I am saying same money is a contributing factor. So to hear journalists, argue like that, that beats my imagination, Thank you, so.
Yeah, Moses, we had that discussion yesterday, and some of us we took our position. For me, I indicated that yes, Kula could be correct that Sam Manning, it's not the causation for what is happening, but the position I took was that it would have been quite better. It would have been very expedient, like in communication, certain things that you just leave unsaid. You don't talk about it. It would have just been better if you didn't come up with that press release to clarify about the issue of Sam Manning, because from the initial stage, the government indicated that the BK that was involved with the whole Sam Manning stuff was being subjected to investigation, and the Sam Manning activities were being suspended. So that just pointed to the fact that the issue of Sam Manning was a major factor that sparked off this whole stuff. But for again, the Kula to come up and make a clarification, I think that was belated. One, and two, it would have been better that she didn't say anything, so that people are not left in suspense. Yes, you said Sam Manning is not a cause; it's as a result of national security. Just leave it as that, because I'm sure you're not going to explain national security. You're not going to explain this, so just leave it at that. In communication, it's not everything you can talk about. But again, sometimes when you say these things, people think that you want to act like you know more than what they know. But it's not about what.
But some of the logic, it's simple logic.
Yeah, surely.
If there's a situation at the border,
Yeah,
and the reason for that crisis is not Sam Manning, or Sam Manning is not a contributing factor, as Moses said,
yeah.
then why ban Sam Manning?
Then why ban Sam Manning?
It's just simple logic.
So she should have been saying. But again, that the individuals we have in those respective offices, and like this woman said yesterday, we have a lot to do with our communication as a government. We have a lot to do. Let's not be thinking about John Brown, and it's an opposition. John Brown was not part of those who brought us to power. Look, it's all about the country now. If a government takes a position in the country, or a government assumes the leadership of the country, it's just just make sure that you bring all of the brains and leg minds on board, so as to make things run properly. But if you think that I think I have the only people I'm going to deal with are those who are from my cycle, at the end of the day, those who from your cycle may be making blunder. Look, Tagwa and Moses, I experienced it. Before the CDC came to power, I was serving then as the communication director at the Ministry of Health. Unfortunately, when they came, a lady said she wanted a job because she felt she was part of the RSA group. So she wanted a job. And so she used her influence. The minister said, no, we can give you this job. This guy was in this job. He was in a position. He's best qualified and suited for it. He's been doing the trick for quite a long time. And she says she still insisted. And she went to the influencers in the.
And she became your boss.
No, I couldn't. She went to the influencers and they called the minister again. Madam Minister, we need to, you need to give the job to that female and remove George and all of that. So at the end of the day, they called me up and said, look, we didn't want to do it, but we've been pressurized, we've been in another word, bully, so you have to, but and then the deputy for administration said, no, we can't allow this guy to go. Then we'll have to make him a consultant. At the end of the day, who was doing all of the work? That the consultant. I will say individual who came could not do the work.
And that consultant position was the biggest.
That was the biggest one. I mean, it was the same salary.
Yeah,
so I accepted it because I wanted to still be hanging on. But I'm saying this because if you think that the person is an opposition, look, not in all cases that you come to power, you see everybody as, you know,
Opposition.
outsiders or oppositions. Get some oppositions on board and see what's going to happen. You know, but it's unfortunate. You see our communication, you know, and like Moses said, our communication machinery is fractured. It is fractured. And Douglas said it. Mr. Morris Douglas said it yesterday. And it's not about, you know, bad mouthing anybody or saying something, but let's work together as a people, as a country. Let's work together and move our country forward. So, gentlemen, let's try to get into our major, you know, discussions. What we're just talking was just a carryover, something that we discussed yesterday. But let me read this quickly. This is our you know, main focus tonight. President Bawka nominates a new chairman of the National Elections Commission. President Joseph Yuma Bawka Sr. has nominated Mr. Jonathan K. Widow to serve as chairman of the National Elections Commission, NEC, following the resignation of Madam Daviette Brown Lassana. Mr. Widow brings to the position a wealth of experience in electoral administration, governance, and public service. He previously served as commissioner of the National Elections Commission from 2004 to 2020, during which time he held several key oversight responsibilities, including human resources, finance, and procurement. He also served as acting co-chairman of the commission, contributing significantly to the management and credibility of Liberia's electoral processes. In addition to his national service, Mr. Widow has participated in numerous international electoral missions and engagements across Africa, including assignments with electoral bodies in Kenya, Ghana, and Nigeria, as well as observation and assessment missions under the auspices of the African Union and ECOWAS. Mr. Widow holds a Master of Arts degree with honors in development studies, with a concentration in development and management from the School for International Training in Vermont, United States of America. He also holds a Bachelor of Science degree with honors in General Forestry from the University of Liberia. Pending confirmation by the Liberian Senate, President Bawka has directed that Mr. Widow served as acting chairman of the commission until the Senate reconvenes from its current recess. The president has expressed full confidence in Mr. Widow's competence, integrity, and professionalism, and experts that under his leadership, the National Elections Commission will continue to uphold the principles of transparency, independence, and credibility in the conduct of elections in Liberia. So, gentlemen, we woke up to this news about the nomination of Mr. Widow. But first, let's try to play this video. It has been, making rounds on social media. Let's try to play this video so that we see the man, Widow, and maybe also get to know some of his positions, his previous positions and current positions. Let's play.
More than 70% of the vote. They swept the district of Kasalaye, they swept the district of Jozo, they swept the district of Bonjama, and swept the district of Kolahu. The only contest is in Foya, the flat barrel Hunku, where the difference is about 3,000 difference between the both parties. That is it. In Bon County, which is another populated county, UP and CDC are at the top, neck to neck. It is assumed that at the end of the day, when all the districts are clear and the precincts are reported, UP will have a slight lead, according to the statistics we have. In the county of Bassa, UP and CDC are at the top in Grand Bassa. And in the county of Bomi, UP won a clear victory of more than 80% of the vote. In Cape Mount was the same. In the western county of Bapolo, UP has a clear lead, a comfortable lead in Bapolo. That is it. With more than 90% of the record of count, the 5,890 record of count across all the centers in Liberia available, 90% of it with the UP Alliance. It is clear that the UP Alliance will win a one-round victory. That's the statistic we have.
So on the overall, sir, my name is Prince. I will pray for Focus on Liberia TV from the States and from FM in Liberia. On the overall, how many counties currently you want as per what is provided to you?
They want Maserati. UP want Maserati.
One.
They want Limba. They want Magibi. They want Lofa. They want Cape Mount. They want Bomi.
6.
And they are winning Bapo clearly.
So 7 candidates.
7 candidates.
Out of 15.
Yeah.
Does that mean you could win 150 out of 15? You got 7 already?
Other 7, and we are neck to neck in bombing. UP and CDC are neck to neck in bombing and Grand Bassett.
At one point in time, he said we are neck to neck, and then he caught himself. UP and CDC. I don't know. Dave, let's hear from you. It's still a very good pick for the National Elections Commission.
Well, that can be determined by the president. It is the president who determines who takes specific positions in government. The Constitution requirement.
No, we are not asking from the perception of the president. We are asking from your perception. You in the from your position. You in the country. Mm-hmm. Who serves at the National Elections Commission, that will run the commission up to 2029, who oversees the elections, that will bring out a new administration or retain the current one. That person is very important to all of us. So I'm asking you, is Mr. Jonathan Weeder a good pick to you from your analysis?
From my analysis, it's a difficult question, Saba, but it's the president who determines that. I wouldn't say it's not a good pick or it's a good pick. It's the president who determines that. So he has to prove himself.
You listened to him just a few minutes ago, talking about making a case for UP, in another word. Because at one point in time he said, well, we are in comfortable lead. Another point in time he said, he called himself.
Yes, when he said we are in comfortable lead, that obviously indicated that
he's a member of the
ruling party. That you can't dispute. Whether it was a slip of tongue or it was a mistake he made. But once he said we, that means we meaning as Unity Party, suggesting that he is or he was a member of the Unity Party. And that could question his credibility, since he has been appointed now to that position. That could question his credibility.
Now, let me put a question
maybe this is why people are saying that he's a partisan.
Before we go to Moses, do you think it can be a good chair of the National Elections Commission? Well, the fact that it's a partisan of the Unity Party, which is actually clear.
When Deviator Brown Lasana was named chairperson of the National Elections Commission by the We Are administration, people have similar views. People express similar fear that she would have slanted on the side of the CDC at that time, but her performance, dismiss those.
Let's compare Deviator Brown and Mr. Weeder. Do you think Deviator Brown was highly involved with the CDC as compared to Mr. Weeder being involved with the party?
Even she weren't conspicuously involved with the CDC, that wouldn't dispute the fact that she was a member or she wasn't a member. But her performance demonstrated that she wasn't honest.
So let me ask the question again. Is Jonathan Weeder the new chair, the acting next chair, because he's acting now pending the return of the Senate for confirmation? Is it a good pick?
As far as the president's concerned, she's a good.
As far as you're concerned,
as far as I'm good concerned, I can dismiss whether he's or he's not. The fact of the matter is that you don't have a consistent view. No, I don't have.
Dave, is that what you're saying?
No, Saba. This is a man who served at a National Elections Commission. He has a vast experience. I'm not the one to question his credibility.
So, in another word,
his job would tell the Liberian people that he was the best pick or he is the best pick or not. That's my position on that.
So, I know. For you, You don't know whether it's a good pick or it's not a good pick.
I can't outrightly determine that. Whether it's the good pick or it's the wrong pick. His job will tell the Liberian people and the world that he's the best pick or he's the
So
wrong
do you support him in that position?
Well,
Let's assume you're a member of the Senate. Will you cast your ballot for him or vote for him?
if I were a member of the Liberian Senate,
Mhm.
depending on his profile or his credentials,
You
and
cast a
what-
ballot for
and
him.
what he will say at the Senate, he will say before us as senators. Maybe I will be Grand Cruz senator, and I would vote for him.
So
or
in other words,
not vote for
we
him.
don't want you to be dragging this.
No,
You have a side taken already. You
I have a
support
position.
him serving as chairman of the National Elections Commission. It's clear.
What power does Starboy have?
You support him, right? You support his nomination. Be clear.
Sabo.
Don't dangle over this
Sabo,
thing. Be
Sabo,
clear.
Sabo.
Don't teeter over
You're
that.
not going to hear what you want.
All right, let me hold you there.
You're not going to
Dave,
hear that from
let me hold you there, Dave. And let me go to Moses. Moses, we just played a video of Jonathan Widow, the new chair, or he's now acting chair of the National Elections Commission, and having been appointed by the president to serve as chair, but he's acting in the meantime pending the return of the Senate. We played a video. You heard him making a case for the party. Is he actually a good pick? Because I'm sure since the nomination news came up, you've been making some research, about this man. Let's hear you.
Well, let me come from the strength perspective first. When you look at the nominees' work history, academic credential, we can say he has the pedigree. He has what it takes to be chairman of the National Elections Commission. That is not disputable.
Mm-hmm.
The records are there. He's a former acting chair of that commission. He served the commission from 2004 to 2020, 16 years. He had oversight over human resources, other key departments. He been able to supervise elections in a number of African countries. So he brings to the job a wealth of experience. However, this is the downside for him. The downside for him is that he has a brazen association with the Unity Party. In 2023, he was head of what we call the War Room, the UP War Room. They were doing the tally. They were tracking reports from various polling centers. As we listen to him he was giving the people updates. So if you have men with such a leaning, anyone from the CDC, anyone from the ANC, they say, but this man here, his association with the UP is so glaring that going into an election that he will supervise, that will send some level of anxiety. People will say, no, this is not right. It means that he's compromised already. Even though there are election laws that says that anyone nominated or appointed to the position of chair of the Elections Commission, you have to resign your membership for any political party. Yes, it is easier to say I resign. But look, you can resign from the party and your loyalty remains what? For the party. So I think that's a problem. And that's a problem that not only Liberians, the international community will also be looking at. I think someone neutral with no political leaning, that person would have been a very good, fit for that position. Get someone from civil society. There are a lot of qualified Liberians over there that they could have chosen from civil society to go and do that. But to have someone with such a political leaning, and you say someone and Moses, you go and cast your ballot, and this man, we all know that he's a former or he's a member of the UP. That's scary. So that's my observation.
No, but they've tried to raise an issue, Moses, about
Yeah.
The former chair, Deviator Brown Lasana. You know, from his perspective, uh, she has been a member of the CDC.
Did I say that, Mr. Saba? Did I say
Didn't you say?
that?
Didn't you say so? Because you
No.
drew the analogy.
I said,
Mhm.
if Deviator Brown was a member of the CDC or not, she was not conspicuously seen as a member of the CDC. But her work proved to the people that
Now, okay, let's
disprove whatever perception other people on the side, on the people on the other side thought.
now, Moses. Let me put a question this way. Now,
Yeah.
there are some individuals who think that the nomination of Mr. Weeder it's the same as when former President Weah was in office and he nominated Deviator Brown. Do you think there any similarity there? Was Deviator Brown a member of the Unity Party? Was she involved largely like Jonathan Weeder is involved with the Unity Party?
No, there's a huge difference between the two. It was speculated. I don't want to be definitive about it, but it was speculated that the former chair, the other Brown, and former President Weah, before he became president, they had an intimate relationship. That was
Yeah.
what was in the public. But there are no records that show that this woman was a member of the CDC. Now, when we come to the appointed chair, what is in the public record is that he's not only a member of the Unity Party, but he also played a very critical role.
What room?
In 2023, he was head of the war room. He was gathering, he was tabulating the data. He became a spokesman indirectly for the Unity Party. So to have the man supervising an election that a George Weah will be participating in, and the Zana Cummins will be participating in, people will be concerned about what? His association. They will see him as a compromised figure. The international community will also see him as a compromised figure. That's what I said. Someone from civil society, if given this opportunity, would have been a perfect fit. Yes.
Yeah, I think I agree with Moses on that in terms of the civil society side of it. For example, David Brown we're talking about today. At no time have I heard that she was part of the CDC or any other political party. But the speculation Moses talked about, I also heard a speculation that she had some intimate or romantic relationship with George Weah. People thought that she was also would have been compromised, but her work disproved that. Her work at the national election disproved that. With all what people speculated, she conducted an election, and that election went against the person that appointed her, who were considered as her intimate friend. So Jonathan Wheeler can do similarly. But Saba, this is why people in the past suggested that those who are to serve at the National Elections Commission should be vetted by an independent body or a group of independent civil society, But the only commission I know that whose leadership can be vetted by the civil society is the Independent National Commission on Human Rights.
Mm-hmm.
Where the candidates can be vetted. I don't know why it is not in the case of the National Elections Commission, because all the time, whenever presidents come to power and they appoint chairpersons of the National Elections Commission, these kind of discussions or debates will always come out. So to dismiss or to get rid of all these, perceptions and, and suspicions, nothing in the near future,
Mhm.
The national legislature or as Liberian, we should start looking at the direction of, setting up a particular group, an independent group, whether civil society, that would vet people who should be appointed at the level of the National Elections Commission.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I agree with people who've been raising this concern because anytime, it's difficult to find somebody who's totally neutral, even if they show it or not.
Mhm.
People have connections to political parties, to individuals. People have connections. So these concerns will always be raised whenever somebody is appointed to the National Elections Commission. But with all the claims people made at that time when Joe had appointed Devetta Brown, you saw her work.
But you are still trying to compare. No, Tagwe.
Uh-huh.
You are still trying
But
to
that is
compare.
the same perception
No, this is not perception. This one is real.
No, that one is, I agree.
It's clear.
This one is real.
So it's not about perception. David Brown Lassanan scenario was speculation. People speculated that she was.
We're talking about
you know,
connection, yeah.
I'm coming. Yeah, whether connection or not, but it was speculated. It was a speculation. People had that belief, which they could not prove. But this one, you listen to the
No, I listen to
news
Widow. I mean, he indicted himself. He has proven, he has validated.
Now, so let me ask you now. With what you've heard, we don't want our process in 2029 to be compromised or our process to be held, and there's lots of legal challenges and all of that would even drag the inauguration of the new administration or the old administration. Do you think with what you've heard and from your colleagues' position as well, should the Senate still go ahead to confirm Mr. Widow?
The Senate will do its own scrutiny of Mr. Widow. First of all, his credentials, the level of experience he has brought to the level of the National Elections Commission.
Mm-hmm.
All those things will be brought under the microscope. And if the Senate would think that he's the best, the senators would think that he's the best, he's appropriate, he will serve well, he will serve honestly, they will confirm him. But if they notice, based on votes, if they notice that he will not be a credible chairperson of the National Elections Commission, he will be voted against. So it's left with the Senate. I'm now a senator. It's left with the decision of the Senate. The level of their scrutiny will determine whether he will be.
So what should the Senate be looking for? When you talk about scrutiny, and I'll come to Moses on that as well. What should the Senate be looking for? It's credentialed or its political alignment? Should they take that into consideration as well?
It's obvious that when people are sent to the Senate for confirmation hearing, first of all, they're concerned about the person's academic background. It's one. They're also concerned about the person's competence or ability or sincerity the person appointed has brought or is taken to that position. It's all that to look at. There were also these issues. I believe there are some lawmakers or senators that will bring out his connection with the Unity Party. And no one can dispute that he has some link with the Unity Party from what we heard. It's possible that some senators have also heard that recording or have a hint on that recording. So they will use all these things to screen or scrutinize Mr. Widow, whether he's suitable for the post or not.
Okay.
It's left with the ball is in the court of the Senate.
Okay, I'm coming to you, Moses. Viewers kindly share the show so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones can also follow. This is the Nighttime Heat, rated on Prime FM 105.5. Two of our panelists are not in tonight. George Kennedy is not feeling too well. Likewise, Edwin has a lot on his plate in the office, and so he couldn't come tonight. But we have Dave Benedictus Namwitawe and Moses Sandy, our diaspora panelists, on the program tonight. Now, Moses, from what you know, and I don't want as a Liberian. I know you as you being a Liberian in the U.S. You wouldn't want for an election to be held, and after the result, there are lots of legal challenges that could likely, in fact, derail or delay the inauguration of the leadership or whatever it is that may come from out of the election. Moses, would you support the Senate confirming Mr. Weeder, especially considering what you've heard about him?
Well, look, Sobo, you struck a very salient point, and let's even go into our own history. You remember the 1985 election with the late Samuel Doe, when it was reported that that election result was rigged. That created political tension in Liberia. And this is what I want our senators to take into consideration. The peace, the stability of the country. We all here agree that this guy, he has the leadership skills. He's qualified, he's educated. All of these are not disputable. But the problem is what? His political leaning. Do you think Alexander Cummings will go into that election thinking that Jonathan Weeder, an associate, a member of the UP, is in charge of the process? The international community that will be putting their money in, that want peace and stability in our country, will they be willing to invest money into that? Now, this is where the role of the Senate becomes very critical. The role of the Senate becomes very critical because the Liberian Senate, since the ascendancy of this administration, has proven to be compromised. So that's one of the reasons why I say I would not like to work in the legislature, because it's a number game. There are a lot of smart senators in our place.
Why, if you have your petition, you Moses, you will say no to them?
I will say no. So, Mr. Tagbe, I will not make the impact. I will make all the argument. There are people who go down there with what? The party must prevail. They go with party loyalty. They don't look at the issues. And that's what's going to happen. The Senate will confront Weeder. With all this thing here we're talking about, the Senate will confront Weeder because the Liberian Senate is an extension of the executive branch of government. Youngblee is a friend of the president. What do you expect her to do? What do you expect Delon to do? What do you expect Moi to do? And the list goes on. They're going to vote. They're going with one agenda: the rescue mission. The will of the president must prevail. Let me give you a graphic example. Somebody went to the Senate, lie on an oath. The president came out and admitted that, yes, I misrepresented the truth. The very Senate confirmed that lady. Today, she's a deputy minister. And kind of Senate you want me to trust? If you are for the woman, and talk about my brother, that is not proof we have. They will vote for the woman. I mean, they voted for the woman, they will vote for this man. Gentlemen?
Okay. All right. Now, let me go in there.
What is clear, yes, Sabo and Moses, is that it is unlikely for a president of a party, of a particular party, to sit at the executive mansion and appoint National Elections Commission from the other side. It is unlikely, Sabo.
Dave, Dave,
Mhm.
you could appoint an individual. Yes, I agree with you that no one, maybe we said, I don't have any political, leaning, or wherever it is, but appoint someone who people will see as being in the civil society.
Right.
Appoint someone who people will see as being in the civil society. Yes, maybe that guy may be, he may have his own political alignment, but appoint him so as to give the National Elections Commission that face of credibility in the eyes of the international. I'm coming, Dave. I'm coming. You asked a question.
Mhm.
You said, "Is it possible to appoint someone who would not know? No president will rather will be in the mansion and that appoint his political support? No, that way, because we want to give that commission the face of credibility first to the international community and even your own citizens. You don't appoint someone who is largely involved or has been largely involved with your party activities. It will question your sincerity to the entire process. People will think that you're trying to weaponize the commission by putting in place someone who is your political supporter. Because tomorrow, like you listen to the video, let's assume 2029 came and Mr. Wheeler announced, the party had won. What will people say? Oh, but this man, we expect
Even
that.
if it would be glaring that the party won.
We expect people will say they want to challenge it.
This is why.
I can't.
This is why.
Tagwell, I'm saying to you,
Mhm.
people will still want to challenge it.
It's
The
part of
best
the-
thing
it's
to
part-
have
it's-
done,
It's part of the
the
process.
best thing to have done,
Mhm.
so as to not question any whatever process result that will come up. The best thing to have done was, don't we have people who are in the civil society, credible individuals who are in the civil society?
Can you tell me about any election results that was never?
That's not an issue.
Question? No,
That's not an issue.
That should
Tagwell.
be an issue.
No.
Can
If it is questioned,
Uh-huh.
it shouldn't be on the basis of the chair's alignment. No. It should be on a basis at Tabwe. Moses, you can come in.
I mean, I agree with you 100%. And look, if what has happened is that if the election comes tomorrow, the UP wins fairly. The opposition will still say the UP won because the chair has what? A leaning with the UP. The people will go to court. The international community said, will say, but what you expected? The chair is what? A member of the UP. Even though you say you resigned, but I think it's in theory. It would have done well for the president to bring somebody that has no political leaning. I mean, there are too many Liberians over there that can do that job. Yes.
And Mandu Tabwe, Mandu and Moses as well. The international community do keep records. I'm sure the tape that have been played, they have that also. Yes, you may say, well, they are not the ones that are going to vote. But if there's any tension as a result, where do we go? Who do we call on? And it's the international community. So to you, Mr. Wheeler is a very good pick. To Moses, he's not a good pick.
Sabo, as far as I'm concerned, the legal process is part of the electioneering process in Liberia. If anyone challenges the results, whatever the results will be, it's part of the process. And if that person goes to court, or if a particular party goes to court on the basis of questioning the results, that will be proven or disproven in court. That's part of the process.
Let me ask you a question. We'll shortly transition. Where maybe a few months to election or a year to election, the international community comes out and says, look, we are not prepared to fund the election of Liberia because we do see a potential conflict because of the makeup of the commission. What will you say, Taba?
Sabo, you bring
Don't you think that's
you bring
possible?
up a hypothetical.
No, I'm coming. Don't you think that's possible?
Sabo, you want me to answer a hypothetical
Is it
question?
not possible? It can happen?
Sabo, it's not possible, man. It's not
Mo,
possible.
let me hold you there. You said it's not possible.
It's not possible.
Moses. Is Moses off?
Yeah, I'm here.
I asked a question.
Yes.
I know you may not have heard of. Don't you think it's possible that a commission, tomorrow the elections commission, the international community, maybe a year or two to the process, to say, well, we can't fund the election in Liberia because we do see a potential conflict after the entire process because of the makeup of the entity, of the commission. Moses, is that not possible?
Why not use
It is possible.
It is possible.
It is possible because it is their money. They have the right. It is their money. They have the right to choose
Yeah, it's
how to
possible.
spend the money.
No.
They can say, "My man, you know what? Based on what we say, we are not pleased with your makeup. On that basis, we can support it." And that's what we're saying, Mr. Tyler. What we are saying here is that we should not, or the government should not lay any condition or should not create any condition that people will begin to have that kind of suspicion that, hey, something is not right, something is not right here. Make sure that you clear all the doubts. Make sure that you clear the doubts that even those who are going to participate in the election, before they think about going to court, they have to look at themselves critically. But what am I going to tell the court? But when you have somebody who heading the process with such an open leaning with a UP, my brother, people will be suspicious.
The law requires, I believe
Yes.
the electoral law requires that, the position that Wade finds himself in, admitting from his speech, from what the record will play, that obviously he associated with the Unity Party. Well, is he still a member of the Unity Party? Has he resigned? Have we found that out? Is he a member? The law requires that the person resigns. Why if he did resign?
In theory.
What you calling
But practically,
but the law calls.
no, practically, he still holds alignment with the party. In theory, yeah, he resigned.
Saba, let me tell you something, Saba. Even if Joseph Boakai appoints Jesus Christ tomorrow, they'll be concerned.
It's not possible. It's not possible. If I were, let me say something. Let me say something. If I were, and we'll put this to the public, whether Wida is a good pick. We'll open the lines later on.
No.
If I were the president of the Republic of Liberia, I would have looked in the civil society. Eddie Jaguar is there. Eddie is there.
That's a choice.
I'm coming. Yes, he could be a very good choice. He's there. Who's going to ask what?
Mame is there.
I'm coming.
Mame
Fine. Mama is there. I look in the civil society and pick one from there. And say, look, make sure you oversee the election the best way you can, you and your team. We would have even seen this video to come out.
So some issues will still come out.
All right, let's try to
The Eddie Jaguar you're talking about when you are appointed tomorrow.
Let's try to transition. I think we've done justice to this. You said that your position is he's a good pick. You don't have a problem with his pick. The only person who can have a problem is the president, who's who nominates people. He can best say whether he's done a pick or he's done a good pick. But for you, he's your good pick. To Moses, he's not a good pick.
Yeah.
Okay. Gentlemen, let's talk about this story quickly. Nathaniel McGill has reportedly been saying that, reportedly that $30,000 US have been set aside for the expulsion of Yeke. A local daily reported that. And let's read this story quickly, briefly. State resources according to Mangibi County Senator Nathaniel McGill, has been used to get rid of Montserrado County District Number 10 Representative Yeke Koluba. Senator McGill, a ranking member of the Opposition Congress of Democratic Change, accused the government of Liberia of misusing public funds in what he described as an attempt to remove the lawmaker. He made a remark during a weekend opposition rally organized by the CDC in Buchanan City, criticizing what he called unnecessary spending of state resources on political pursuits rather than national development. According to this senator, any effort to mobilize resources to gather signatures for Koluba's removal would ultimately be wasted. He argued that even if the lawmakers were successfully lawmaker was successfully ousted, he would remain eligible to contest the future elections and could potentially regain his seat. Okay. Dave and Moses, this is what the local daily is reporting about attempt or about the plan removal.
What's the amount again?
30,000 each, about the plan removal of Yeke Koluba, using resources as the catalyst to have him expelled from the lower house. This time, let me begin with Moses. Moses, what you're reading?
Well, my reading into this is that the Liberian government has a history, especially the Walker administration has a history of bribing lawmakers. They spend millions of dollars to remove Kofa. They spent thousands of dollars and kept lawmakers in a hotel for almost 2 months. So this administration has a history. That's what we call precedent. If you did it before, you have set a precedent. So to hear that another $30,000 is being offered, there's some level of believability. I can believe that.
Okay.
Yes.
Tabo, let's hear from you.
You know, Moses definitively saying that the government spent thousands or millions of dollars. People made those claims, but were those claims proven beyond reasonable doubt that indeed government spent those sums of money that you're talking about? It's what you heard. The people that said it, that make those claims, people that made those claims, did they prove the claims beyond reasonable doubt? Now, yes, Mange, he said 30,000 each will be given to senators. The members of the representative remove, how to call himself, Yeke Koluba. But at the same time, he's saying that any attempt to mobilize resources for the removal of Yeke. So if you are already concluded that 30,000 is set aside to remove Yeke, then what you say any attempt to mobilize? So we means if you say any attempt to mobilize resources, we mean no resources have been mobilized yet. So how do you know that 30,000 have been set aside? It's a glaring contradiction here. So people will make these kind of wild allegations and don't prove that. And people, because of the gullibility of society, and people wrong with this. And so I'm even surprised, Moses, that you were wrong with gossips and allegations that people made yesterday about the removal of Fanatic Kofa. His own colleague said they were displeased with his performance as head of the house. They accused him of ineptitude, administrative ineptitude. And they all got together and they removed him, including even some members of his own CDC. And somebody sitting here and say people use money to remove him. And Moses, you believe in that? A veteran journalist like you, and you believe in that? What proof did they give you? Don't you make those claims? No,
Okay.
don't laugh.
Yeah, let me-
Moses, I can say that here today. Anybody can tell you, say Moses stole the money from the place. But they have to provide. Those who made those claims yesterday, as far as Fanatic Kofa's removal was concerned, did not provide any shred of evidence. Those were all gossip speculations that were not proven to convince anyone that indeed government spent those sums of money that people were talking about. Here is another Nathaniel McGill. He's in the opposition. They were having a political rally. Why you expect Nathaniel McGill to say it at the CDC political rally? To make wild allegations that even if he brought to court, that he wouldn't be able to prove. These are political maneuvering that most of you have to be aware of.
Okay, so you listen to the Nighttime Heat. Right. Yeah, Moses. Go ahead, Moses.
Yeah, let me say that. Okay, George, you're my brother. Tabe, you people are in the country. Did you see the video where the guys were sharing money during Kofa's time?
You saw
And
you
the
saw a
government
video?
set up.
Can you send us a video? Let's look at it. Maybe I didn't see it. If
Mr.
people
Tagman, Mr. Sober, did you not see that video?
Did you watch a video where people sharing
Alright.
money? I want some
Of
place
course.
for the audience. Moses,
For
I
the
believe you
removal, yeah,
Can
the
you
one
send a
thing
copy for the removal of Kofa and people. Look, what sense does
sure,
it make?
yeah, so let me complete now.
Moses, I
You
beg
spoke
you,
randomly.
Moses,
Okay.
let me think. What sense does it make? And the government wants to move a speaker, and the government brings the money on Capitol building, Capitol building, and in the view of onlookers, and they're dividing money, and they are videotaping, somebody videotaping while they are dividing the money to remove Kofa. Does it make sense, Moses? Let me fair, yeah. Let me fair. If money, I'm not disputing any fact that money was distributed or not, because things can be done discreetly. But for you to have said that there's a video and the lawmakers are dividing the money, say, oh, how possible is that? Let's be frank here. Let's be very frank, Moses. Let's be frank.
Okay, so there's a video. When you have time, just go back online. There's a video that emanated from two lawmakers, and the guy was displaying how much cash was offered. I didn't create that. The video is out there. And then let me provide you this additional information. In the wake of that video, the government or the leadership of the House of Representatives ordered a probe into that matter. Have you gotten any outcome? Have we gotten any outcome into that order?
It was a claim. It was a probe.
Yes.
So if it did not come outcome, I don't know. But
okay, so I'm saying to you, yeah. So I'm saying, yeah, no, you spoke lengthily. Yeah, I'm saying to you, this administration has a record.
So, gentlemen, let me just hold you guys. Moses, let me just hold you guys on the line. I've been trying to get in touch with the senator since day, and finally, Senator Nathaniel McGill, and finally, at least I have him. Although he's not in the city, he's not anyone around. But let me speak with him quickly on the line. Senator, welcome to the program, the Nighttime Heat.
How are you?
I'm okay, sir. I'm okay. Welcome to the program. I was concerned here, Senator. We read a local daily that indicated that reported that you made a revelation that some 30,000 United States dollars has been allotted for each lawmaker to remove your colleague Yeke Koruba, to expel him. How true is it, Senator?
I know I made such statement. I don't know where they got that report from.
Wow.
What I said,
there you go.
To remove Yeke, if you were a co-senator, you spend money. And if you remove Yeke, you have to have by-election. You have to spend money. And these resources can be used for more important things than I use it for that. That's the point I was making. If you remove Yeke Koruba, you got to go by-election to a new election. Do we need that? We have all the other problems in the country. We got security issue at the border. We got other serious priority. I just thought that you get come with destruction, so the government should not prioritize that. If you want to record the cities and the legislature, you have for the purpose of removing it, that's going to cost the country money. So that's the point I was trying to make, but I never said any $30,000 allocated to remove anybody. That's not true.
Okay. And you made that statement in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County.
Yeah, that's the point I was stressing in Grandmother. I never said get $30,000 to remove. I was saying to remove it will cost the state resources. And to replace it, you're going to hold by-election. And the by-election will cost the country money. Do we want to spend that money just because of the government? I mean, that is I thought the country is behind the government. And I thought the president, I think there are people who, in this country, we just get was really people. Like people say, oh, you get me come country more money. Well, I don't think we need to go that route. I thought that comment, that injury, the man say where he believes that the land belongs to Guinea based on the map. What kind of map are we talking about? We don't know. And I think the president should focus more on the approach he's taking, the diplomatic means he's using, and he has support of both not even the entire country, including the opposition. We are saying because we're a number of politics. So he should focus more on that, pay attention to that, not allow people to sit with it. Because when you're president, you get all kind of advisors. Some people with their present objective to be telling you do this, do that. And that's not where the country want to go. I think the country is the other way to spend money. The country at least close $1 million to a by-election. And just to replay Yeke could still participate in the by-election and win the election. Then we just wasted the money for nothing. So, and that's the point I was making. And to call back because I'm hearing news, I've spoken to some people in the other room, and it was when you come back, for what reason? There's no national emergency to bring them back. But I just said that the situation in Lofa County has elevated to it's still a pressing current danger that we have to come back. But the people pushing that. So I just think that's the wrong approach. So my advice to the government that don't waste that money. Spend on good thing. Train more. The military, for instance, want to train 300 people. They're looking for money. The country may have some challenges trying to raise some resources. But if you want to just waste money to replace it at this time, I think it's necessary. And at the point I'm making, I did not say 10,000. I don't know where you got this from. I never made that comment.
No. 1 minute. Senator, have you been able to see Yeke since he made that statement? And if so,
yeah, but Yeke must.
The network is bad.
Yeah, we got fireplace. So
yeah, I know.
Be getting angry. That is opinion. He say he's sort of mad. He say people make statement here and the focus there is how do we address focus time and Guinea is our neighbor. The president is doing the right thing, taking the approach. We don't want to fight no more. But at the same time, you can't take advantage of doing anything. They're just walking on the boy, government handling the right way to get full government support. But they try not to money. Yeah, these don't I think that's way. And the reason they can go into other priority to even call back because you call the legislature back, you spend money to call to put your moves because people will let it be that the president and briefest that's the reason why we call back. And I'm just giving my advice. So it's not an allegation I'm saying. I'm saying if you do that, there will be the cost. And it will have a cost to cost the country money. Do we want to spend that money for just to remove someone and replace them?
So honorable, my game. So, Honorable Maggie, my name is David Tagbert. Are you hearing me, sir?
Come again?
My name is David Tagbert. I want to ask you a question. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, sir. So what prompted your comments regarding if there's any money to use to...
I spoke to people in the legislature who said we're coming back, and people said they want to spare Yeke. I spoke for an informed position. I'm not speculating.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I spoke for people, and I advised the same people who have the authority that this is not the right thing to do. And I talked to as a senator, an opinion leader in Liberia, I talked to also advise and make it public that it would not be the right thing to do. We get other prevailing priorities that the country needs to spend money on, not to be holding a new by-election. And that by-election, you can still participate because you have fundamental right. The House can spare people, they can't deny you, they cannot deny you from taking by-election. That'll be a violation of your fundamental right. You don't have the power. And so if you may take by and win the election, that's a waste of resources. We have other prevailing priorities. The security situation at the border needs to be addressed. We need resources. I'm telling you something. In Manga, security people came to me to raise money to the one back pickup. And I said to them, if you say you don't get money, you want me to help you find, but I'll need a back pickup for you. You know, it will get me doing that. We'll get major priorities. So the country should focus on, especially for people in the legislature, leaders in the legislature, who maybe for some reason they're trying to do this thing. That's not the right thing to do. You know, in the end, the blame will go to the president. You know, that's not the right thing to do. But again, you know, we just got to make these advice and we'll make these points. People don't see it to be important. They will at least say somebody spoke and said it. So,
Okay, all right, Senator. Thank you.
I don't think pursuing Yeke trying to remove it now, it will cost the country money. If you remove Yeke, will still cost money. Nobody can deny that fight. It will cost the country money. To remove it, to bring up back will cost the country money. When you remove it, to replace it will cost the country money. That's a fact. That's okay. The not statement.
So finally, it's not free to call you people back. The government has to spend money to call you back.
Well, because no money they just call by the constitution provide for that you spend money. Why you won't call by? We don't need that. Wait for it to come by May. May will soon be here. So we don't need to come back. There's no reason, there's no national emergency here to come back. That's my view. And you call by, you gotta spend money to bring up back because our recess, our statutory recess period. And if you call by, you gotta spend money. Why do you want to spend that money? For what reason? Just because some people say they want more, they're trying to encourage the president
so now,
and I'm speaking from an position. I'm not speculating because I had conversation with some officials in the legislature who suggested it to me.
All right, Senator, thank you very much. Thank you. We're hoping that when you return and following your break, we can have you on the nighttime heat one of these days.
Yeah, we'll find time.
All right, Senator. Okay.
I just hope that our colleagues in the House of Representatives will listen. You're not trying to make anybody, you're not trying to satisfy anybody yet. So all you think one more man, you want better man, we want to come by, you can disappear, maybe so you can investigate. But try to move somebody, of course, it will cost at least close to $1 million. You know, never always have a big budget. We tell you $500,000. We need our money to go to the security sector, Sabo.
I know.
You know. But watching and seeing, or be watching and seeing if they're going to still go ahead with their threat or with their action.
Okay.
I'm not a member of the House, but I'm an official of the government. And I think I need to advise when I see things that I mean done correctly. I need to call on people to listen.
That's a fact.
You know. Yeah.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you very much.
In that figure, I didn't say they were giving $30,000 to anyone. That anybody said that, but misquoted me.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Senator. Have a pleasant night.
Thank you.
Okay. So, gentlemen, you listen to this senator. Moses, what's your takeaway? Because, and let me begin with you. It's just unfortunate that our other two colleagues are not in. There have been others who've been advocating for Yeke to be expelled, for Yeke to be removed, for Yeke to be and all sort of words, impeached and all of that. In fact, there's a communication as we speak on the agenda of the House leadership from Representative Smo Molba, who said Yeke should be charged, with treason and all of that. And besides, there's a communication from the LMP complaining Yeke again, that Yeke statement and borders on national security and all of that. Now, people are concerned for Yeke to go. That's a major concern. Yeke should go. Yeke should go. But they are not thinking that yes, Yeke could go tomorrow. But to bring another lawmaker, like you heard the senator saying, it will cost the government close to $1 million. Why should you use that money just to because you want to get somebody out and bringing another person is close to $1 million when you have a couple of priorities, national priorities? Just because Yeke said this, let us remove it. But going to hold by-elections, you have to make sure that you spend close to $1 million. Besides, he said to bring them back, because there's no national emergency, to bring them back, you have to spend money. I asked him whether it was not free. He said, no, it's not free. For the government to call us back, you have to spend money to call us back. Mostly, let's get your takeaway.
Yeah, look, so I am laughing because that's just what I was saying. And the senator spoke very well. And so, but you are on the ground. I don't live there. The man said, look, just to bring us in is money. Before you assemble the members of the House of Representatives, that's going to take money. When you have no drugs at JFK, your schools have no chairs. The man you made, you celebrated this man. Everywhere you went, you carry Yeke with him. You carry Yeke with you. Your campaign for Yeke. Because why? He was against the CDC. The senator is telling him, the leadership that look, there are more urgent needs. The situation on Yeke, it doesn't warrant us spending extra money. The only thing the senator denied was that what? The $30,000. And that's what I was saying. The government spent thousands of dollars to remove Kofa. Today we have what? An embarrassment as a speaker. You see how life goes? They remove Kofa and brought someone who has become an embarrassment. Today, we're talking about Yeke. They are not looking at the financial implication. All they say, oh, Yeke must go, Yeke must go, Yeke must go. But how do you do it? I think let me wrap it up. The senator spoke well.
Okay.
Well.
The first thing Senator Mangill spoke on the basis of gossip hearing from Monrovia, that some people told him, or even some members of the legislature, House of Representatives told him. That's why he's hearing that they're calling him back to remove Yeke, or to spend money to remove Yeke. So he's not sure. As far as I'm concerned, his position is based on gossip hearing from Monrovia. How does he know that they're calling him back purposely for the removal of Yeke? That is unclear. If they are calling them back, they must call them back for a purpose. It shouldn't be necessary for the removal of Yeke. But if they are calling it back, let him wait until he receives a communication from the executive mansion that will be calling them back. Then you can take a position of that. But he's unclear as to whether they're calling it back as he's hearing, or we are hearing, for the removal of Yeke. He's not clear about that. So as far as I'm concerned, his position is based on the rumors or gossip you're hearing from Monrovia.
Okay.
But I just believe it that they are calling it back purposely for the removal of Yeket, and that, as a senator, I thought that why he's supposed to abstain on. Another thing, Sabo, you see, so now it's another situation. You see how the credibility of the media in Liberia continue to erode. Publishing stories that are far from the truth. Yesterday, we were discussing about a story from Page Africa, Kerry, even though you were in a defense of Front Page Africa. no,
but Front Page
no,
didn't lie.
so no. So here's another story
Mm-hmm.
that people are running with. Here's another story we're also running with here on the show. Now the man who is at the center of that story is telling you that's not what he said. He did at no time in Banga, wherever they were, did he say they were about to get them $30,000 each for the removal of Yeke. He dismissed that. He said it's not true. So why waste our time to talk about that? So the media, we got to do our best. We have to do our best to uphold our credibility. Because most stories are coming, fabricated stories, people dismissing stories. No, I didn't say that, I didn't say that. So sometimes we have to critically look at these reports before we even bring it on our show.
Now, let me ask you, but let me begin with Moses on this. Moses, one of the things the senator said, yes, after he did clarify that he didn't say what the newspaper reported, he indicated that just quite recently, some security personnel went to him to get a pickup for them. And he said, well, if you want me to help, I can help, but to get a pickup from... Do you think Moses is just trying to say that maybe to make the administration to look ugly, that the government cannot buy vehicle for its security personnel? Or you think he's been truthful with that?
Look, the senator was just using euphemism to tell the government that your priorities are all upside down. You are just security people here. They're asking people to buy them what? A pickup. Whose responsibility is it to maintain national security? It's the government. And it is the same government that the senator is saying is mobilizing resources to bring them back. I heard my brother Tagwe say, oh, it has been assumed that they are coming because of Yeke situation. But you quoted yesterday, you quoted the director of communication at the House of Representatives. He said there's a complaint. And that complaint is on the agenda of the House. There's a complaint from the police. There's a complaint from a member of the House. And Tagwe is still saying that there is speculation. Tagwe, don't you see logic here? That the coming of these people here will be about what to let Yeke go?
Moses, if somebody say there's a complaint on the desk of the speaker from the police, and there's also a communication from a federal lawmaker that Yeke should be removed, because there are complaints on the table, on the desk, waiting to be looked into, does it necessarily mean that they are being called back? No, the complaints are there. People filed complaints that when the lawmakers return to Capitol building, they would look into them. The complaints, the presence of the complaints or the submission of the complaints on the desk of the speaker or whoever does not necessarily mean that they're being called back. No, let's look at it. Does not necessarily mean that they're being called back. But the complaints are the people filing the complaints. Do they have to be present before people filing complaints?
Mr. Tagbe, let's look at when did this happen? The lawmakers are currently on what? On a break. Like the senator said, we have what? No national crisis in the country. Why are you calling us back? What is the necessity? And in the wake of that, the leadership is telling you that we have on our agenda a complaint for Yeke Koluba's expulsion. The police is saying that, hey, we want you to come by, give us a go ahead so we can begin to investigate Yeke Koluba because he made a statement that threatens national security.
And that Moses, you said that I disagree with you.
What?
Because
Okay.
You said Maggie being using euphemism. In what way? The man bluntly said that security personnel approached him, asking him to buy a vehicle. That
No,
was
so yeah, so
way. And you try to beautify what he said. No, I disagree.
no.
Said
Okay,
that, that man is a politician. There's a possibility is that he's fabricating something.
Okay, so I don't want to go. I don't want to go into what you say is true.
What I'm saying, no, I'm taking my part of position now.
Okay.
If security people want vehicle for their operations, is it an individual lawmaker or official of government will they go to ask a vehicle? Is that possible? Does that make sense? Then those security people personnel, they don't belong in the security. Because if you want vehicle to operate with,
so you think McGill want to just make up story?
He's a politician. There's a possibility that he's fabricating something. He's a politician, someone. No, a journalist is not someone who believes in something. You have to go beyond what people tell you.
So what let me ask you, what interest will McGill have, Senator McGill, for which he wants to just make up story, to be very disingenuous, about saying that security personnel approaching to get a vehicle?
I'm saying there's a possibility that he's fabricating something as a politician to score political point here. You have to be, this is a man in a political party that want to come back to power. You have to create all these things, print all the images to appear like the Unity Party is irresponsible. It does not care about security people. But just yesterday, police received a fleet of vehicles from even Martin, China. And even the government said provided some. So if let's agree that security personnel don't have vehicles.
So what would be the interest? I'm asking you the question. What would be the interest of McGill?
Political. Someone, it's obvious. You know that. Why are you trying to play that?
No, I'm not playing that. I'm not asking you what would be the interest of McGill.
Yeah, let me just say this quickly. I said the senator was using euphemism. He did not want to tell the government that, hey, executive, you are irresponsible. He said, officers came up to me and asked me that they want to pick up. He was basically telling,
first of all, you have to establish whether
but let me complete my thoughts now. So what I'm saying, I got no reason why to even question that. I don't see the basis. Why you think that man would just get up and talk? Because he wants to talk? That man is one of the lawmakers, whether we like it or not. He's one of your lawmakers. Why you think this man would just get up and start talking? The man's not intoxicated. When people are intoxicated, they talk loosely. Okay. The man is making reference. He said, look, a group of security officers came out to me asking for help.
And Moses, you believe that? Just like that?
I do. I got no reason to question. I got no reason to question that. I believe that.
Wow.
I do.
Anyway, that's your position. I accept your position.
And I think some of we can just move forward because the crash is right.
These are the security person I'm talking about. They approached me in one vehicle. Until that, I disbelieve it that what he says is true. I doubt it. I doubt it, Moses. I doubt it. That means a politician. Politicians are good at these kind of rhetorics and political maneuvering. You have to be mindful of that as a journalist. You have to know that. This is why we investigate. We go beyond what people tell us. So are you losing that other sense of journalism that you have to go beyond what people tell you to find out whether it's authentic or not? You believe anything someone tells you as a professional, Moses? But, that's a problem. If you just believe anything someone tells you like that, and you believe it, there's a problem, Moses.
There,
There's a
there,
problem.
if I do not see the necessity, if I do not see the necessity of someone fabricating,
Except if you ask
if-
the necessity to question it.
okay, so that's two questions now. We
Yeah,
are
yeah.
entitled to, that's what we call subjectivity. The way you understand it, the way you see
I
it.
agree. Okay, Moses.
Okay,
I said,
so we move forward. Yes.
All right, so gentlemen, let's start a transition quickly. It's 9:45 on the nighttime heat rated on Prime FM 105.5. We are also streaming live on Prime FM Morovia 105.5, and also streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Facebook and YouTube channel. Gentlemen, let's try to transition quickly on this one. I'm trying to find it. Let me sort it out. I'm trying to find the story quickly. It has to do with the Ministry of Farmers and Development Planning. Minister Augustine Kpehe Gafwan highlights Liberia's economic resilience at the launch of AFDB's 2026 Macroeconomic Outlook Report. Minister of Farmers and Development Planning Augustine Kpehe Gafwan has underscored the country's strong resilience in the face of recurring global and domestic shocks. He made these remarks during the launch of Africa's Macroeconomic Performance and Outlook 2026 report by the African Development Bank, the AFDB, at the bank's headquarters in Abidjan on Monday, March 30, 2026. The Africa's Macroeconomic Performance and Outlook 2026 report by the African Development Bank shows that despite headwinds, Africa remains a global growth frontier on track to remain one of the fastest growing regions in 2026 and hosting 12th of the world's 20 fastest growing economies. The African Development Bank is praising Africa. The report added that growth uptick in 2025 was broad-based, with stronger estimated performance in 32 of 54 African countries, with 22 countries, including Liberia, having more than 5% growth. Serving as a panel discussant alongside finance ministers and senior policy makers. Okay, let me get there quickly. Minister Gafwan emphasized Liberia's progress despite its relatively small population of just over 5 million. He recorded that in the aftermath of the conflict, Liberia faced a severe debt crisis, with its debt to GDP ratio reaching above 70%. Through sustained reform efforts and strong international cooperation, the country successfully secured debt relief covering nearly 90% of its obligation, laying the foundation for macroeconomic stability. Okay, now, gentlemen, let me now read on. The minister has been out there at the AFDB 2026 forum, announcing about the country's resilience in our own macroeconomic performance. In that, indicated, our resilience, indicated, the effort we've made in trying to, reduce our debt and all of that, in the face of some of the global shocks that we are going through. Moses, let me hear from you. Your takeaway from this.
I got a little bit of that information, but I would like David go first, then I'll come in.
Okay, Dave.
Well, anyway, Minister Gafwan has actually been doing well in terms of portraying Liberia out there positively. And you talk about, in spite of the economic situation across the world, Liberia stay is withstanding. I think that's why he said it's still withstanding. I mean, the challenges. I mean, addressing the issue of his debts, paying his debts, paying salaries on time, not because, oh, government is not giving excuses. That look, because of the situation across the world, we can't pay salaries, salary will be delayed and all that, and the government is still paying salaries, is still paying the debts. I think it's that picture. I'm not an economist, mostly too easy, but as far as I'm concerned, Gaffan has always painted a good picture of Liberia, that Liberia, in spite of all the challenges across the world, you say an all cutting of support to many countries, including Liberia. Liberia is still moving forward and doing well as far as its economy is concerned.
Surely. And let me just read this aspect quickly. Let me not leave this one out. Reflecting on public health challenges, Minister Gafuan mentioned the devastating toll of the Ebola epidemic, which claimed more than 5,000 lives. He noted, however, that the experience strengthened Liberia's institutional capacity, enabling a more effective response to the COVID-19 pandemic and mitigating its overall economic and social impact. The minister also addressed recent fiscal shocks, including the abrupt withdrawal last year of over 300 million in external project financing following the exit of Liberia's second largest donor despite this setback. Liberia maintained fiscal stability through enhanced domestic resource mobilization. There's domestic resource mobilization, period. He quoted, "The sky did not collapse on our heads," Minister Gafuan stated, attributing the country's resilience to improved tax administration, enhanced organization, increased transparency, and effort to eliminate revenue leakages. As a result, Liberia achieved its highest ever domestic revenue collection and recorded a smaller budget surplus. The minister emphasized that these reforms remain central to the government's broader development agenda, including the implementation of its national development plan and targeted initiatives to strengthen resources governance, highlighting sector-specific reforms. Minister Gafuan pointed to ongoing collaboration with the African Development Bank to improve transparency and revenue generation in Liberia's mining sector. While mining, in quotation, while mining has been a major driver of economic growth, contributing the largest share to GDP growth in the past year, revenues from the sector have historically remained relatively low compared to what private entities and multilaterals and multinationals in the sector earned, he said. He noted that current reforms are aimed at addressing these disparities and ensuring that natural resource wealth drivers tangible benefits to the Liberian people. Okay, gentlemen, let's end it. But it's basically
so there were fears when you say pull out the support.
Mhm.
There were fears that the health sector would have collapsed and that development projects initiated by the government would have been stalled. But in the absence of the use of support, we stay sailing smoothly.
Mhm.
Yes, of course, there's some issues, some in other places, but those issues are not overwhelming.
Mhm.
So as a result, the government is afloat.
And let me talk about
Our economy is afloat.
Yes,
Yeah.
he spoke about fiscal stability, and maybe people expected, the critics expected that, maybe following the withdrawal by USAID, like you said, the wars did not collapse on us. There's still fiscal stability. as a result of resource mobilization, all of that been put in place, and like you said, Minister Gafwan continues to make the case out there, and despite the negativities, despite the challenges, the global challenges, he and his team continue to put into place, that the sort of fiscal discipline. He talked about revenue leakages, where people used to, those sort of holes. They've made that effort to close those sort of holes, and the revenue is coming. He even talked about small surplus, that was experienced as a result of all of the major efforts they've taken. But I think on the overall, Minister Gafwan has been doing extremely well here, his team, and he's the best person, and to always go out to those sort of forum to make the case for Liberia, Had it been maybe other administrations, who knows what would have happened, especially with the withdrawal of the USAID funds and all of that. Who knows what would have happened? Maybe bulk of our development programs would have been stalled by now. Yet they're still continuing with the development projects, and still trying to mobilize, resources for national development, to carry out national projects like the roads and other major projects. So we all just have to give it out, to the team at the Ministry of Finance for the work being done. Gentlemen, on this, yes, Moses?
Yeah, and I mean, I would like to join both of you in saying that the minister is actually working. He's doing a very good job. He's performing. He's meeting expectation. Where the economy was to where it is today, I've seen significant progress, and I think we should all applaud him for what he's doing. He's really making an impact. The finance ministry under Minister Gafwan is making an impact, and let's try to encourage him to continue to do what he's doing to make sure that we can get to where we're supposed to be as a country.
Yeah, thank you, Moses.
Quickly, so I have an emergency that I need to attend to quickly, so I have to go. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your
sure
time.
All right, Tabet. You take care. Bye.
Okay, Moses.
Let's transition quickly to play this tape, Tabet. That's our last discussion point, and then we can try to put in course, and we call it a quote for the day. Let's try to play this tape about the people's action. Okay, that was sometime last week, when the People Action Party of Senator Sir Joseph met in the convention. But I was proud to the parade preceded the convention, the deliberations, and at the end of the day, he was elected the political leader. But considering the fact that this is a new political institution, not many people know about the People Action Party. Yes, but people do know the engineer of that political institution, Senator Sir Joseph. But there's this speculations, and people are reading, giving their own interpretation, that this political party, this new political institution, has come as a helping verb, like the chair of the UP will call them. Maybe if there's second round, it may likely shift to the side of the Unity Party, because all in all, since this government came into being, Senator Sir Joseph has been a strong supporter. He's been a strong supporter and advocate of the party. Do you hold that view?
Well, the first thing you talk about convention, and when political parties are convention, almost like going to the convention to elect your standard bearer and other officials, right? So, who were the contenders? You have any idea who the contenders were? Was it when the Sir Joseph wanted to become the standard bearer? Weren't there other people who had an ambition?
No, I'm sure there were other people who
That was stage management. That that was.
No,
stage
but
management.
let's not talk
the
about
issue,
his. Yeah.
but the issue is that Sabah. Uh, let's agree that Sir Joseph has ambition to become president of the Republic of Liberia.
Mhm.
If that doesn't go his way, uh, it will be anyone's guess that he will support. He will give support to the Unity Party, taking into consideration his recent utterances that he feels more secure under the Unity Party administration than his own administration, his own party, the CDC administration. He felt insecure, and now under the Unity Party government, he feeling secure. So that will tell you that no matter what happens, I don't think Sir Joseph want to feel insecure again under another CDC government. So if there's anything like a second round
in 2029.
in 2029, obviously Sir Joseph party will declare support for the Unity Party.
So you
I'm
see-
not saying that. Life is unpredictable.
Mhm.
Who knows? Yes, of course, he took that critical position against the CDC. But there's a possibility too that down the line there could be a change of mind, depending on what may be happening behind the scene that you and I may not know. For example, he fell apart with the CDC, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, honestly, he was suspended or expelled from the CDC.
Mhm.
Who knows whether some courageous guy in the CDC could approach him and be talking to him. At the end of the day, they could convince him to return home. So it's unpredictable. There's a possibility. These people are politicians.
So he's not coming in the political space as a formidable force. Rather, he's coming as a helping verb.
Well, that's a harsh word for me to use because look, our election, our voting in this country, is something that I've always had problem with because the manner in which we vote. Don't take anybody for granted. Don't take anybody for granted. I don't want to take Sir Joseph for granted.
Mhm.
But obviously, my position here is that if there will be a second round tomorrow,
Mhm.
Sir Joseph, the possibility is high that Sir Joseph will declare support. His party will declare support for the Unity Party, the ruling Unity Party. Then it will become a helping verb. But it's also possible that down the line, he could reconcile with the CDC and go back home.
Do you think Sir Joseph really have the intention of becoming president? Does he see himself as a presidential material?
Anyone who has that ambition sees himself or herself as a presidential material. The fact that it can come from his mouth, the fact that he can declare it to the Liberian people that he has ambition to contest the presidency, he sees himself as a presidential material.
So
if no one does.
So what would trigger that?
If it-
What
if-
would trigger that sort of intention from him? That belief that Liberian people can vote in as president.
Well, that's some people are overzealous, and maybe because of the little things they do, they think that they are admired, and they can make a break at the polls come to be elected to the high, which many people think is far from reality. But he sees himself that he thinks it's possible for him. And this is why he'll be throwing in his cup or his hat in the race. He sees himself He has an ambition. He's optimistic that if he contests, he will win. That's his ambition. No one can stop him from having such an ambition. That's an ambition that he wants to become president. And don't take him for granted. And people have always said that money does it all, but I know people who spend a lot of millions of dollars and they didn't win the election. So it depends on whatever impact that you're making on society, and if your impact you're making will overwhelm the impact the sitting administration is making. Not only Sir Joseph, but all the opposition political parties, or even the CDC that wants to come back. Why is the CDC doing now that will make the Liberian people to re-elect the party to power? What is Sir Joseph doing? Sir Joseph has always brought medicine and medical equipment from abroad.
Are they sufficient to convince the Liberian people?
No, Sabo. I'm trying to name some of the services or the impact he has been making on the Liberian society. Whether it's small or big. But as far as people see him, we call him Ebola hero here.
Okay. All right. Let's try to take a few calls quickly. 0778-460-793. And of course, our big question to you tonight, because our big discussion, the first story we treated, it had to do with the pick off the president for the chairmanship of the National Elections Commission. Do you think the Jonathan Widow, who the president has nominated, is it a good pick or is not actually? Let's hear from you. And of course, I will be discussing other issues. Senator McGill, it was reported in the local daily that he said that some $30,000 was allocated for the removal of $30,000 for each lawmaker to remove Yeke Koluba. Well, he came up to say, no, I didn't say so. But removing Yeke Koluba will have to spend a lot of money, close to $1 million, to bring a new representative. And besides, if he will remove Yeke Koluba, Yeke will have to again recontest, and possibly he may win. So there's no need to have, to talk about spending money to remove Yeke. Also, we spoke about the Minister of Finance. He has been attending the AFDB 2026 forum. There he highlighted, major gains that we've made, our resilience in our economy. He spoke about our effort to mobilize, resources. He spoke about, what we've been doing in the face of the global shocks, that we are still around and no walls are falling on us. So, we spoke about that as well. And also, lastly, we spoke about, Sir Joseph political party. He has been appointed as the political leader. Is that party another happy verb, or is it a formidable force come 2029? Let's take the first caller quickly.
How you doing, Shabba?
I'm okay, sir. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Asana. I'm calling from 17.
Okay, so let's hear from you.
I'm the one always should tell you, say the program extended from Monday up to Friday, and you'll carry on because we are your listener.
Oh, yeah.
Get this call very well. Let me tell you something. Those guys who condemning Mr. Widow while we're appointed Joseph Baker, they passed the election commission chair that was there, the Esther Brown Latsana. When you see the problem they have at District 15 between Abu Bana Kamara and Delia Yuri, that lady was the one because they wanted to implicate the whole thing, and then they went on with setting believer there, and then they have to reclaim to take the vote from the lady and give it to Abu Kamara. But you were appointed. But you talk about voting, there is other people that can be counted. You have people deployed everywhere. The hair who sit down in the office, that's the one going cheap when you got people on the seat, journalists. Even what today your station, one of the best stations who are announcing the real result. See, then we come to Yeke Koluba. Yeke Koluba, he need to go. Yeke is need to go because we're discussing the country. We're not discussing different things. If you talk about the error, you see somebody else is claiming our land, claiming part of our country. Then you telling the process the play is for them. They should take it for fun. You see, Nathaniel Magadian, they are form maker there. Let me tell you, by that time, you can remember, First and Foco, then used to take out shite to fight him. They used to take out shite to fight him.
And that place is an error. You know, there are our errors. They're not fighting place. You fight the man with law. Once you go against the rule, let it get you out. Let him be out.
Okay. So you prefer, let me ask you, you prefer for Yeka to be booted out, and then we spend we spend close to $1 million to bring somebody in during by-election, right?
Yeah, of course.
So what can we use that? So what can we use that money? Well, why wouldn't you agree for us to use that money for something else?
Let me tell you, Sabo. Jeremiah Kun was senator, and then he contested as vice president and he win. Then another representative who was in position, they didn't think on it. They allowed that man to contest again and win the senatorial position. And then he still also open, and they allowed that to happen. Let it go on.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
CDC was supporting 3 persons in Nima County. So, but they don't make the money made for all like that. They think that will promote them. CDC will never come back to power. Even the 10 story outside. That means you get on the radio. Come on, get him from there.
Okay.
Bring it, Chakla. You don't say anything.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You made your point. 0778 460 better still 086 05 0507. Again, 086 05 0507 or 0778 460-793, or the alternative line 0776-540-987. Let's take this call on the line quickly. Yes, sir. Yes, hear from you. Okay.
So we need a representative in this country. Yeke as a representative who is a leader. So the statement from Yeke, the deputy minister in Guinea, coming that Yeke statement. So Yeke should be impeached. How we spend money on re-elections. Our election in this country, let Yeke be removed. We have to set president on Yeke. What is going on in this country? Yeke is a leader. He's a leader representing a district, making inflammatory statement against a state. He need to be removed.
So let me ask you now. So because you want us, because you want us to remove Yeke, so we should spend almost close to $1 million to hold by-election and bring somebody in.
The previous connoisseur, they have contested and won as a senator election. Let me tell you something like that thing that TDJ are saying that when Yeke be impeached, Yeke will be it cannot work. It cannot work in this time around. In Yeke, there is no issue against Yeke. So it should be Yeke, it should be of insulting leader making inflammatory statement against the state, going afar against the state. That's someone receiving. Is the major minister coming and using quoting Yeke statement.
Okay.
To go free.
Okay. All right. You made your point. Let's take another caller quickly. 0778-460-793 or 0886-05-0507 or the alternative line 0776-540-987. You can call this alternative line. You'll still be heard 0776-540-987. Let's take this caller quickly. Good evening.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Abba Police General, original people from the political district number 11.
Okay.
Yeke need to go. Yeke definitely need to go. It's that simple. When I would spend $5 million to take Yeke, $5 million cannot replace somebody's life. Why Yeke was trying to cause chaos to take people's lives, to replace a simple human being life. Spend $10 million, Yeke need to go.
So are you saying hello? Are you saying we should waste close to $1 million or more than $1 million just to get Yeke out?
Yeah, listen to me. You look at $1 million. The effect problem that Yeke was developing. You don't get $1 million can bring a human being life back.
So, but do you know that when Yeke is removed, by election time, Yeke can still go for re-election?
Let him work. Remove first, go with the scorpion. Why is the scorpion?
Okay. All right. Okay. He's one for Yeke to be removed. 0776540-987. Today we've been talking about 4 major issues. It's not Jonathan Widow your pick as well, as the president has nominated him? Do you feel comfortable with the man Jonathan Widow to supervise the National Elections Commission? Or also, do you want for Yeke to go? Let's hear from you quickly. Good evening. Oh, it's low. Okay, let's take this caller from this line quickly. We'll tell that caller to wait. Let's take this other caller. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for the show. This is Abraham Kuna calling from City View community.
Let's hear from you.
The issue about Yeke, I think Yeke need to come and sit down to rest.
You should go and sit down to rest.
Because we don't know what stuff. They are going against the state. So you need to be punished for that. And you can sit down.
So you wanted to suspend him or expel him for good?
I want for Yeke to be expelled.
Okay. So when they expel him now and to conduct the by-election, maybe NEC will say, well, to conduct by-election, you need $1.5 million. So you wanted to spend that $1.5 million just to get Yeke to go?
It's better we spend $1.5 million than to lose a single person life. Because the threat that Yeke are called for Liberia, making the president of Guinea, giving our leverage that go move on Liberia, the land there is for you, that what causing a problem today. A lot of people will be affected by that one statement you made. So Yeke need to sit down.
Do you know that maybe Yeke is gone, he's expelled, by-election comes, Yeke could again contest and win?
You been expelled. Now who will give you that registration? What do you about to register?
No, the constitution the constitution will not bar him from going through that. No, he has his rights. His rights cannot be restrained from recontesting.
When you are expelled, same from the time and Newman said, when you're in school, when they say they expel you, you can't attend our school again. So that's
no, that one different. It different. All right. You want for Yeke to go? Okay, that's your point. You want for Yeke to go? Okay, you want for Yeke to go? Let's leave you and take another call on the line quickly. 077-846-0793 or 086-050507. Let's hear from you, sir. Your name? Okay.
You know, for me to be honest with you, Mr. Josh, I want for Mr. Koloba to rest. Mr. Koloba need to go. It's better for us to save our country and for Mr. Koloba to put the country into serious calamity the way some of the things in doing. He already that in everybody, everybody in the UK, in Lebanon, in other countries, in Dubai. So he only here to be causing problem for we and the people and some of us. We have no other place to go besides the block. So if somebody taking our property and lawmakers, sitting lawmakers come and say, oh, that money more enough for you and for the people. You know what he's saying there to us? So maybe something if the government will 50 billion to move again and pay another 50 million to cover election, that will save that block. Someone will support the government for that to be honest with you. And let me talk about the net post.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I know our brother and Kidori. May who brought this power into the service. But there's only in the party ticket. When in there, he took the election and give it to them. They also have somebody who said, Tapla Wiz, ticket for real country. So our brother and baby, nobody in this country one problem. If tomorrow come election, does me. Because we don't take it, give it to them, there is no Waka will know election, you never know election, that may take it and force it on the party because you on a seat before.
Okay.
The party lost election.
Okay,
so
all right.
Yeah, I feel need to move in there. Thank you very much.
Okay, many thanks. 0778 460-793. That's the number to call. Or better still, 086-0505-07 or 0776-540-987. That's the alternative line. You call this line, you are live on the nighttime heat. Or 0778-460-793. We've been talking about a couple of issues. Is Jonathan Widow a real pick? He's a good pick for the National Elections Commission. You know, the president has nominated him. In fact, he's currently acting as acting chair of the National Elections Commission, pending the return of the Senate from recess. Let's take this call quickly. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Come on, John. This is the one living DJ Constance.
Let's hear from you, DJ Constance. Long time.
Yeah, man, I'm around. I want to tell you, I'm around.
Okay, let's hear from you.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
The problem with Yeke, me, I don't have problem with Yeke. I also don't have problems. If I have is, if Yeke is business, I've been in the hospital and investigate indeed where they're coming from. Yeke is a Lufian. So if you say it's only one, they investigate this guy because you are block every door. Then you can ask Yeke, give all the main secret away. Don't go in detail. I think I should be there for a expect Yeke because you expect Yeke, that means Yeke will talk. If you expect Yeke, that expect Yeke will say something be true or not, and damage you in the country name. So I think the best thing to do is to call Yeke to a round table and let him get is that because we have begin our country with the plan. And we have to do anything. So is speaking on something apparently he know. I mean the teacher the government, but then call the guy and tell the explain that will take.
Okay, many thanks. 0778-460-793 or 086-0505-07. Yes, sir. Let's hear from you. Your name?
Hello,
yes, sir. Yes, hello. Let's hear from you.
You getting me?
Yeah, I'm getting you. I'm getting you.
Yeah, this is Jeff Mutara, district number 15.
Okay, Mutara, let's hear from you.
So, as for the election commission that was nominated by President Bogman, it's in the right direction. Power, you have the devil. So, a level, only the individual of Nando companies do what is like job like is getting. Well, you would be of men with his wash. That would be you go one people with integrity, but tomorrow will happen tomorrow. If you continue to work for the liberal people, no matter what you pick, so long as liberal people is to not for you, not for you. So would you get I'm an opposition anyway.
Okay.
But everything is the right man for the job and you get it. And to Yeke, what is the essence of people want to expel Yeke for freedom of speech, for you have a right to speak. It's a training issue in Labrador that we're talking about. Now, you know. So we cannot forget about the issue. Let gas prices going up. We need to talk about fuel on the world market today. How we address the issues. We're going to forget about that. And you go to pay, and you come for yourself for Yeke. For me, I found it this ingenious for the long ago. They need to think what the right thing. I need to move like forward.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Many thanks. 0778-460-793. That's the number to call. Or better still, 0886-050507. Let's hear from you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is Mr. Vieri, calling from place.
Okay.
So I don't know. The people we that on our we don't know what honor to work and just come and talk. Yeah, except from there. There are 20 million that we pay to take it from there. I used to
But what I want to say is that most of the opposition will not be power, more especially the law. They will not be part. They will not realize because those are the same people that train Yeke was doing this piece. They were clapping. That's why that brought them into power. And now they're looking at it to be. Why Yeke say what would the way people speak English? That's the play for in it. It's the way they're behaving. Also, in like I already gave the period. So why they can't Waka, because the Waka who came and said everything was all right. At the end of the result, we saw the people coming. I mean, I even feel they were not able to. I mean, they're not able to protect the city or the country, the nation. That's a war for a PG. What the first secretary has said, like reclaiming land.
Okay.
I mean, he also want to be.
Okay. 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 You made your point. We're taking 2 more calls and we'll wrap it up. 07784607993. Let's take this out. Take on 2 more calls. Good evening. Hello. Oh, it seems that the caller is out. Let's take this other caller quickly. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Papa.
Yes, sir.
Let me say good evening also to the laboratory in general.
Okay.
Mr. Papa, for the recognition, I'm focused. And I told you this even for our known destination. Mr. Papa, let me start with the
You say you're joining me for our new destination?
What we should bring up from our What does that mean by that? First of all, we were right here. They see people that is trying to say that they want to restrict, they want to punish, and they want to train Yeke. When Yeke was into the habit, they want to teach people what they do. What was you when the information minister said that because Yeke is 14, it's because Yeke going against the past leadership in that kind of arrogant manner, he can even focus Yeke over his man. You get me, Mr. Solo? He said he can even focus Yeke over his man. Not only that, morally, at the party of Koto, he read all kind of football needs, all kind of football needs to get the long soldier, the men that does the men that does the unusual things, and number one, nobody but get called back. If anybody that say that they want to impede get called back, he will say that. I think there was a rumor that the leadership wanted to impede. He said that even rejected it. Now, if anybody that say the cap or senator to impede, they are talking. They see leadership said it yesterday.
Okay.
We're not backing the for his arrogant behavior. I'm saying that during the time in a way that he or she will grow up and never depart from it.
Okay, many thanks.
That today you want to get to behave when you are made behaving just like you were celebrating him. To that conclusion, after we get today, after we get tomorrow, after we get to death.
All right, many thanks. Let's take this last caller. It's at 10:28 quickly. Good evening. Yes, sir. Put on that loudspeaker quickly. Yes, sir. Good evening. Hello? It's still not on the loudspeaker. You have to. Let me take the last caller so you can say that I didn't do justice to him. He gone off. Okay, so that Dave, let's try to get your parting comment.
You know,
we have to
people
go.
are only interested in, whether the United Party, encouraged that from Yeke yesterday, and so they should encourage it. But they're not concerned about the corresponding consequences of his recent statement as far as the crisis at the border is concerned. They're not concerned about that. They're only concerned about Yeke meeting the job and also the issue about money. Saba, if you have to maintain somebody who is exposing the first branch of government, specifically the House of Representatives, public ridicule all the time, and spending billions of dollars to get rid of that person, which one is important to keep to maintain the sanity of the legislature? the House of Representatives specifically? Which one is better? He made a statement that has a tendency of plunging this country into chaos of Guinea. Now you hear and you said it already. We all agree yesterday that Yako has been quoted in Guinea on Guinea radio stations, television stations. So people should be concerned about the corresponding consequences of recent utterances than only being concerned about somebody training him that way, and that so it should be like that. And so that anytime legislators in the House of Representatives go for session, there's somebody who is always disrupting session. But there's a concern somebody raised, or somebody made an analogy that in the school when you expel somebody don't return it, that's different from election.
Yeah,
what I read, there's something I get here. It said, let me read it quickly so that the person, maybe if you stay listening, so it can be an education for you that it's allowed that whenever you are expelled from the legislature, you can be stopped from contesting. They say, yes, an expelled lawmaker in Liberia recontest for their seat or any other legislative seat, provided they meet all constitutional requirements.
Yeah, surely. Okay, so Dave, thank you very much. Let me try to reference some of our viewers quickly, not all of them. Melvin Nathaniel Roosevelt, he said, been watching from Monrovia. Vinicius Junior Bab, been watching from Newtown. Mount Nelson from Broadville. Roberta Richards from Louisville. Abraham V. Yen from Gardnersville. Paul Wulu Justin Henderson, they didn't say from where. Ophia S. Johnson, she's been watching from home. Siafa C. Famula, they didn't say from where. Taidi Jira from Newtown. We can call all of the names. We have to go. It's about 31 minutes after 10 o'clock. Join us tomorrow for another fascinating edition of the program. Until then, Sabo George is my name. Have a restful night.